What's going on, guys? It's Gendo here. Hope you're having a good day, and welcome back to another edition of the Great Chicago Fire. If you are still enjoying this series, do go and hit that like button. And in today's episode, we're taking on New York City FC and Toronto FC, one team, a perennial MLS powerhouse rising to fame and challenging for the MLS title every year, the other, New York City FC. But aside from that, let's take a look and see how we have gotten to this point in the MLS season thus far. And since our last live com, where we came away with a couple of disappointing, dismal draws, we were able to win 4 out of our next 5, succumbing to our very first loss against the New York Red Bulls, who, like Toronto FC, another very strong team coming out of the East. But as you can see, in this 4-match winning streak, starting with Vancouver, we got it off to a great start, 6-2, with Delu, Vincent Discaruta, Calm scoring goals, a 3-0 versus Seattle with 2 different goal scorers and an own goal scored by the Seattle goalkeeper. A very lukewarm 1-0 victory, Michael Delu getting the only goal here, and then 2-0 versus DC United away from home. Razvan Kokic, the aging Romanian midfielder, helping out his cause and getting a couple of goals. And just like that, it seems like the pain and anguish of those 2 opening draws has been wiped away with these next 12 points, as we currently sit tied for points with New York Red Bulls and Atlanta United, the new team, but we do have a couple of matches in hand and could very easily jump ahead of Red Bulls, not just in the conference, but also in the MLS Supporters Shield. However, Portland is sitting at the top of the table. They're coming out of the West. We are 3 points behind them. We did in fact make a new player signing. Someone was coming in on loan, and in order for that to happen, I needed to get rid of somebody to get under the salary cap, and it just so happened that I was swapping midfielder for midfielder, meaning Brian Langer-Hans is now no longer at the club, and to be quite honest with you, at 23 years old and those stats, he just wasn't going to fit in at the club. But we're releasing him to make way for Pedro Ferreira, a 19-year-old center mid / defensive mid coming in from Sporting. Now, he was sitting in their reserve side for quite a long time. He was transfer listed and loan listed, so I snapped him up for the entire season on loan. And just take a look at some of his stats. For a 19-year-old, not bad whatsoever. He's very all-around, well-rounded, good technical stats, like a 13 first touch, 14 tackling, 15 technique. Yes, his defensive stats aren't all that good if he wants to be a defensive mid, like a 9 for marking, but other than that, very well-rounded. 2 or 3 players coming back off of injury, and we already have a bloated enough roster. I don't know if I'm going to be playing everyone. I'm just going to hold on to who I have right now because of depth. And today's match versus New York City FC away from home at Yankee Stadium is going to be as follows. We're going to have Johnson and net, Ramos, Kapilov, Opara, and Vincent along the back line. Vincent's been giving me a lot of problems, getting himself yellow cards, almost sent off in these last 5 matches. We have Hen and Hogger in that defensive mid role with Discaruta and Kokic, the 2 center mids up there, in Akam and Molino, the wingers, and Michael Delu sitting up top. 4 goals in his last 6 matches. Berbatov, yes, has scored a couple on his own, but he has been playing mostly off of the bench, and that's where he's been scoring his goals. So, Super Sub Berbatov is going to be there. Luis Soniak also on the bench. Pedro Ferreira also on the bench as well. Hopefully they can do something in these last, in the last 30 minutes of the match. Fresh legs and whatnot. But enough yammering. Let's get into this first match and see what happens versus NYCFC. And like I said at the end of last episode, it probably was because the team wasn't cohesive enough that we just didn't gel in those first couple of matches. 7 minutes on now, ball coming inside. Akam, why are you taking such a wild shot? He smacked it directly off of a defender, and it's Charlie Davies coming down the wing, gets it inside to David Villa, and David Villa puts New York City in the lead. Where was my defense? Oh, we're off to a great start now, aren't we? Yeah, I had 3 red shirts in the box that could have cleared that ball out, but David Villa still somehow gets onto it. He still has time to take a chance. Ahead to Delu. He's all alone. Jeez. I mean, I don't want to lose to back-to-back New York teams. Corner kick. Kokic getting into the box. Molino. Delu brings it down, but saved by the goalkeeper Horvath. And we're coming up to halftime. We've had 13 shots. 6 of them have been on target. That's more than all the shots New York City have taken in their half. They've had 5. So we need, and a lot of players looking furious and frustrated, we need to come down with something in the second half. Boys, I expect to see something much different. In fact, you know what? Delu is going to be coming off. Dimitar Berbatov is going to come back on. as my only sub at the half. Like I said, he is a super sub. Hopefully he can get ourselves an equalizer. Throw in deep in their half. Mix picking the ball up, tries to cross it in. Ramos does in fact cross it in. We just need to get that ball at the feet of our attackers and not let New York counter like exactly what they're doing right here. And once again, Davies to David Villa. That is just a wide open pass. Kevin Molino on the ball with a lot of sky blue shirts in front of him. Kokish to Vincent. If we just get around his man, Molino, Berbatov, he needs to take a shot. Brandon Vincent, good close down. Molino to Vincent. We just need to build up from the back, get the ball in the front. Everyone needs to start pushing forward. Molino doing really well to hold on to that ball, but we need to now push it forward some more. Kappelhoff gets it to Berbatov. Oh, dearie, dearie, dearie. Too many missed chances. Way too many missed chances. When you have 10 on target, you should be netting at least one. This is just poor day finishing-wise. I mean, if we couldn't beat New York City, and they had pretty poor form up to that, how are we going to beat Toronto, who are starting to get into form? Okay, and so with Toronto, they are continuing to use their 4-4-2 narrow diamond that they had last season, of course, with Giovinco and Altidore sitting up front, Michael Bradley sitting there in the middle. I mean, it's pretty much the same team they used last time out. So we're getting a little switch up here in terms of squad, and as you can see, a lot of players, which very, very bad morale, losing 2 matches in a row. So we're going to try and turn that around as well as turn our fortunes around. And the lineup is Johnson in net, Ramos, Opara, Kappelhoff, Vincent along the back line. Pedro Ferreira is going to be the starting defensive mid. Hogger and Diskerud in the middle. Akam Molino out on the wings. Michael Deleuze sitting up front. This is a team I feel like can give us a strong chance for victory. Just need to see it on the pitch. That's all I got. I mean, that's all we really need to do, right, is push ourselves out of this 2-match losing streak, get ourselves back into form. Free kick on the edge of the box. Mix bounces it off the crossbar. Goalkeeper didn't even save that. Just clanged off the bar, and it goes out for a corner. Once again, another free kick in, but it's cleared away this time. We do have control of it. Vincent through to Molino. It's to the byline, and it's in. It's surprisingly in. They're going to count that as an own goal, and rightfully so. Molino was just crossing it in front of the face of goal. Goalkeeper decided to get a hand on it and puts it in the back of his own net. Let's take a look at this again in the 3-dimensional replay. Vincent with a lovely pass to Molino. He was trying to find some of the runners over here. He had 4 guys in red shirts that he could have crossed it to. Goalkeeper stuck his hand out, puts it into his own net. Some great passing movement. We're starting to feel it now with this lead. Ferreira gets it out to Ramos, to Akam. He could do the same exact thing. Crosses it to Kevin. Oh, and Kevin bounces it off a defender. Thought for sure we would have had a second. Ramos using his pace to bring it up the wing. I love that Ramos has like a 13 or 13 for pace. But yes, that was one of the reasons why I signed Rodrigo Ramos to a full-time contract to begin with. I love his pace, and you can't take away pace playing out on the wings. Nice ball through Akam to Deleuze. Deleuze bounces it off the goalkeeper and doubles the lead. 27 minutes on. It's his 5th goal of the season, and the Fire are starting to feel it. Like I said, using his pace, gets it into Akam. One touches it to Deleuze, who hits it on the outside of his boot into the back of the net. Go Irwin getting a hand on it, but still outside of the boot shot. Also, fun fact, first shot on target for us. Some nice ball movement on the other end now for Toronto, and there it is. Beitashour crossing it into Giovinco. You can't stop the little Italian Giovinco, putting Toronto on the board now. And just take a look at this. It's just as good in 3D as it was in 2D because it was very plain, very simple. Giovinco with such power on that shot, it was never going to be saved. Mix out to Ramos. Is he going to throw in a cross? He should at this point. Deleuze. Oh, wow, it's another own goal. They're going to score that. They have to. No, they give it to David Akam. He pinballs it around off 2 defenders, and it's 3-1 to the Fire now. A very unlikely goal. Let's take a look at this again. Rodrigo to Deleuze. Deleuze never even touched it, and it bounced off a defender and the goalkeeper into the back of the net. Still surprised it didn't score as an own goal, but whatever. I'll take it. 3 goals with 1 shot on target. This is going to be a fluky-ass win if we come away with it. I'm fine with how far we're pushing up, but now we just need to get shots on target, not bank off of bouncing off these guys. I mean, the pinballing is nice, the lead is nice, but I'd rather have shots on target. We've had 9 shots total, and only 1 of them on target. Molino cutting inside. We could get a goal off of the restart. We do! There we go, just as I was talking about it. It's 4-1 to the Fire. David Accam gets his brace on the day. And finally, we get another shot on target. Molino taking it all the way to the byline, crosses it across the face of goal and the face of Bo. 30 seconds in, Fire still rolling, Fire still roaring. That's really poor. That's a really poor pass. It sets up Toronto, and just like that, in the space of 90 seconds, 2 goals have scored this half. And this was off of a really, really bad pass backwards that set the clearance up for Josie Altidore to run free and get his goal. Free kick, mix in the box. It's a foul in the box. Penalty kick. Yes, let's go, boys. And who's going to take this? Who's going to step up and take it? It looks like David Accam is going to step up and take the penalty kick for his hat trick. He steps up on his right leg. He goes right down the middle like an absolute mug, and it's saved by the keeper. Hat trick or not, he should have let Michael Duluth take that penalty. We should not have given it to him. It's still garbage that Accam missed that penalty. Hat-trick or not, I don't care. Give it to the better penalty taker, which was Duluth. Seriously, there should be a way to override if someone's on a hat-trick and they come and step up to take a penalty. There should be a reason why I have better penalty takers out there, not just give it to the guy who's on the hat-trick. There needs to be a way. 2 minutes left to go in this match. Ball to Ferreira, and Pedro Ferreira opens his account with the Chicago Fire with an absolute thunder bastard from the top of the D. It's 5-2 with the Fire. Let's take a look at this again. Duluth. That's not really a cross. That's just a pass back to Pedro Ferreira, who says, screw it, I'll take a crack, and bounces off a defender once again and into the back of the net. I mean, there's so many balls that we just smacked off of the defenders today in order to score goals. 3 goals that have came off of defenders, and I think there may have been a 4th, but at least 3 goals that were scored off of defenders' errors and using a defender as a bumper. So, yeah, just like that, come away with 3 points in very dominant fashion. Chicago Fire back in business. And with that, we now move up into 2nd place in the conference. 17 points, level with the New York Red Bulls. Still have a match in hand on them, so we could very well jump ahead of them next time out. Let's take a look and see who we're going to be facing next time out. So this is what we have going on, and I really, really, really want to take on the new team in Atlanta United, but that's really close to this last episode, so I'm going to have to take a hard pass on that. What I will come back for is the rivalry game down here, FC Dallas. Yes, we need to get that Brimstone Cup match going on. It's the only time we're going to play them all season. And then following that, we might as well then go against Minnesota United. There will be more chances to take on Atlanta, but we got FC Dallas and Minnesota United, the new club, coming up, and hopefully we can get ourselves a victory versus them. They do have some very good players up front. Got to watch out for that. But until that time, until we take on those teams, we gotta say goodbye from this episode. I'd like to thank you all very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you did enjoy it, please go and drop this a like. And if you're new to the channel and new to just anything in this Football Manager world, go and give the channel a subscribe. I guarantee I'll give you some more quality Football Manager videos. And if you have a comment or a question or suggestion, anything else, please leave in the comment box below. But as always, guys, this is Gendo, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, and peace out. Well, it looks like in the debate on which pizza is better, looks like New York wins. Nah, I'm only joking. Chicago's better. Ha ha.